Just see Miso's head on there. I love you. I love you so much. The amount of questions I get about this phone, oh my goodness me. Hey guys. So if you're new here, a few months ago I did an unboxing video when I got my new phone. This is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. Now that video, I didn't expect it, but it has now become my second most viewed video ever, which is insane. I get questions about this phone on YouTube, on Instagram, every single day. I'm not even joking, most of my comments that I'm getting now are about this phone. So I thought I would give the people what they want and finally answer all your questions, because there has been a lot. This is also my first time in a very long time not having an Apple iPhone. And a lot of people actually asked me about what it was like switching from Apple to an Android. So we're going to be talking about that as well. There's just a lot to cover in this video, so let's just get right into it. So first of all, a little bit about this phone. I bought this in November or December at the end of last year. So I've had this phone for about 10 months now. She, of course, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a flip phone. So it opens up like this and you can just fold her right down. And it does seem very gimmicky. I do believe it's a gimmick, but it's a gimmick that I am so happy to buy into because I think it is just so fun. A lot of people ask me where I bought this case. This is just like the Samsung purple case. It doesn't come with it, you do have to buy it. But it is just a Samsung case. I bought this phone, this case, and also I bought the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2, all from JB Hi-Fi in Australia, but there are lots of places you can get this phone. So yeah, I bought them all from JB Hi-Fi. I also have two other cases that I got from AliExpress, just cute little ones. But yeah, those are where I got my cases. When I first got this phone, actually, nowhere did cases for them except for Samsung. But now that this phone has been out for a while, they're like everywhere does cases for them now. Like Casetify does them, a lot of places do cases for this phone. One question I got asked was about the process from switching from my iPhone to this phone, and they asked, does everything transfer over from your iPhone, like pictures and contacts? So for the contacts, it didn't switch over, but that is because I had saved my contacts to my actual iPhone rather than saving them to the SIM card. If I had just made them save to the SIM card, then they would have all transferred over. So I had to manually put in my numbers. As for photos as well, no, it didn't come over to this phone, but all of my photos I put on Google Photos anyway, so it always syncs up there. I believe there is a way where you can actually like plug this phone to your old phone and it can like transfer everything, but I didn't try that. I literally just wanted to start fresh with this phone. I didn't want to have all of my old photos because they're on Google Photos anyway. I think you can, but I didn't have personal experience doing this. So I guess, yeah, do your research on that one. I'm sure other people have answered this question. Probably can show you how to do it. One of the main questions I get asked all the time was, how was it adjusting from iOS to Android? Like I said, I've always gotten the iPhone. I believe my first iPhone was like the iPhone 7 or iPhone 8. And I've gotten iPhones ever since until iPhone 11. That was the last time I got an iPhone. For me, I think it was like a short, like maybe a week or two of me really like adjusting to this, where like I would be like doing certain things and they were different on this phone. I do still have my iPhone. That was another question. I do still have my iPhone, and I'll get into that a bit later, but I do still have my iPhone for work purposes. Actually, after using this for a bit and getting used to this, and then going back to my iPhone and trying to do stuff on there, like I would be doing a lot of the gestures and like stuff that I would be doing on this phone, on the iPhone, and it wouldn't work. Like I actually am now more used to this phone than I am to the iPhone, which is so funny. Aren't a lot of differences, I would say, or like there aren't a lot of things that I would say that were on the iPhone that I'm like really, like that I really miss, or that like the Android can't do. Like I'd say the biggest things for me that were a little bit difficult to adjust to were, because I have like Apple everything else, like I have an Apple MacBook, I have an Apple Watch, AirBuds, everything else in my life is Apple. So it was a little bit hard to adjust the fact that my iPhone wasn't an Apple product, and I would use AirDrop from my iPhone to my laptop so much, and I couldn't do that anymore. But there's so many different ways around it. Like what I actually use is an app called Snapdrop. You literally just get the app on your phone and then you open up Snapdrop on your computer, and it literally works the same as AirDrop. So there are definitely ways around everything that comes with being an Apple user. And also my earbuds still connect to my phone. I actually did get the Galaxy buds, but I don't really like how they feel in my ear. I'm not really a big fan of the silicone kind of earbuds. I much prefer the AirPods. So they do actually Bluetooth connect to my phone, which I'm really happy about. So I don't actually use my Galaxy buds. I also don't use my Apple Watch ever. I didn't use it for a long time, even before getting this phone. So yeah, the main thing was dealing with the AirDrop thing. That is a little bit sad not having that, but there are definitely ways around it. Like the interface of this phone is a little bit different, but I would say it's actually better. So I don't think it's like anything weird to adjust to. And this is a thing that I wanted to add in this video as well, is actually I did have to take this phone in to get repaired. This happened 2 weeks ago, I think, and I've obviously got my phone back now. It's all good. But the reason it needed to be repaired was, first of all, the screen where the fold was a little bit like scratched up. Like you could definitely see a little bit of scratching there, but that's just on the screen protector. The phone itself comes with a screen protector, so they just had to replace that. But also, I believe this happens with a lot of Android phones, but the screen was kind of like, the display would just kind of stop working and it would just turn black. Like I would open up the phone and like unlock it and it would just go black, and or I would open up an app and it would just go black. I definitely was a little bit disappointed in that, because all my years that I've had my iPhone, I've never had to get it repaired. I never really dropped my phones ever. I'm not like prone to dropping my phone, so I never really had to get iPhones repaired ever, especially for like software issues. So that was a little bit disappointing, but the whole process was super easy. I just went and took this into the Samsung store and they just, you know, booked it in and sent it off, and I got it back within 4 days, I think it was, and it was all covered under warranty, so that was all good. Now it's back, they've replaced the screen and everything's perfect and fine. So, but yeah, since having this phone for less than a year and having to get it repaired, it is a little bit disappointing. Yeah, they repaired everything and it works really great now. There's been no glitches at all anymore. But of course I just wanted to mention that to you guys, because I know a lot of you are thinking about buying this phone, and I want to give my real and honest review, and I want to be super transparent with you. But for those 4 days I did have to go back to my iPhone, and I'm super privileged and super lucky that I do have a backup phone that I could go and use, because I know not a lot of people will have that option. And it was actually weirder adjusting back to the iPhone than it was adjusting to Android. I feel like no matter what phone you get, there's gonna be like an adjustment period. I think for me, I was so stuck in my like Apple bubble. I was like, every single product in my life is Apple. I will always buy Apple. So it was really scary actually like jumping into getting this phone. And this sounds like such a first world problem, and it definitely is a first world problem. Like I recognize I'm so privileged to be able to even buy anything, any technology like this. It was a question I got asked a lot, but yeah, I was definitely a diehard Apple girl, and I still love their other products. I'm still a diehard like MacBook girl. But I think ultimately for me, what made me want to get this phone was having an iPhone. It's such a privilege. Like having any phone is such a privilege, but for me, getting the iPhones, especially getting new iPhones every like 2-3 years or whatever, it felt like just something I had to do. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't like oh, I'm getting a new phone. It was just like, oh, it's just the upgrade. Like everyone's getting it, I just have to get it. It didn't feel exciting anymore. And when I discovered this phone, I don't remember how I discovered it, but when I did, I was obsessed with it. I was watching every single unboxing video, every single review video that anyone had ever done on this phone. I was obsessed. I literally would go to bed at night thinking about this phone. Like I could not stop thinking about it. I was so excited about it. I would literally go into like the Samsung stores or the different stores that carried this phone and just like literally just try it, like open and close it. I literally took all of my friends to go see this phone with me in store. Like I was really excited about it, and I think that's just how you should feel when you're purchasing technology. Like that's just how I feel. If you're gonna be spending so much money on something, shouldn't you like it, and shouldn't you be excited about it? Like with the iPhone, don't get me wrong, the iPhone is a great phone. I have no complaints about the iPhone. But for me, it was just like not special. It was just so boring. Everyone I know has the iPhone. Everyone gets the upgrades. Like it wasn't special. Like I think it was around the time when the iPhone 12 came out. And I just was like contemplating like, am I gonna upgrade to this phone or am I gonna get a new one? And ultimately I just decided to get this one. I just get excited to use this phone. I think it's so much fun to use. Like the iPhone to me, like when I was using it again recently for those 4 days whilst this one was getting repaired, I actually missed this phone. Like I had my iPhone and it was all, you know, all good, all fine, works really great, but it's just boring. I just think it's great to like not be in like the Apple cult of like needing to keep up with everything and buying everything. So that was my long-winded way of answering the question, do I prefer the iPhone or the Flip? I definitely prefer the Flip. Also, a lot of people did ask me, do I still use my iPhone? And in that unboxing video, I did say I will be using my iPhone for work and I'll be using this phone for like personal. I just honestly use my Z Flip 3 for everything. For those of you who don't know, I do social media for work. I make content for clients and things like that, and I was intending to just use my iPhone for all like client work, and then all of like my content and my personal stuff would be on this phone. I honestly just use the one phone. It's too annoying for me to like switch phones and remember what phone to use and whatnot. It just feels more natural just to use one phone. This phone is so good at content creation, and that's actually another question I got, is which phone do I use for my Instagram content, my TikTok content? And the answer is this phone. Even just being able to like have my phone like this sitting on a desk and it just can like record like that, like I don't need to use a tripod. Like having an iPhone was so annoying at that. You'd have to find things to like balance against, like, and then it would just like fall over, whereas this you can literally just hold it on the table. Like a lot of the times I just use my water bottle as a tripod. Like I just put this on the desk, put this here, and it just like films me. It is amazing at content creation. Quality of the camera I would say isn't as good as the iPhone, but it's also not like terrible. I would say the audio on my iPhone is a little bit better. Like when I do voiceovers for my YouTube videos, I will use my iPhone. But in saying that, I still do use this phone for like any of like my TikTok or Instagram like voiceovers I use with this phone. Great for like self-shooting as well. My favorite thing on this phone is this feature where you can just like put your palm up and it'll just like take a photo, which I think is amazing when you're like trying to shoot content on your own. It's so good. You don't have to have like a Bluetooth clicker with you. So yeah, I use this phone for everything. I really don't actually touch my iPhone anymore. Another big question that was asked that I was also actually worried about when I first was researching this phone was, is the fold annoying? Like does it annoy you? And you're watching YouTube videos on your phone, like can you see the fold? For me, I actually like the fold. Like whenever I'm like scrolling, I will like scroll on the fold because I like how it feels. I mean, you can kind of, in different lights like this, you can see it. In other lights, you can't, like that. For me, I don't get annoyed at it. It's not like the most noticeable thing, but it's also not like you can't notice it. Like you definitely know it's there. And yeah, it's never really bothered me ever. And finally, the biggest question I was asked was, how is the battery life for you? Because I definitely was worried about this as well when I was thinking about getting this phone. I will say the battery life isn't as bad as what I kind of saw in people's YouTube videos. They made it seem like, you know, you have to charge it 3-4 times a day. Depending on what I've done with the phone that day, filming and editing on my phone definitely drains the battery a lot. Like anytime I use the camera, battery drops quite a bit, and I will probably have to like plug in my phone for a little while before I start like using it again. But if I'm not using the camera, if I'm not really doing that, I can get away with like not charging my phone at all throughout the day and just charge it again at night. Saying that though, I find that the battery actually charges really fast, and I also like the feature where when you plug your phone in, it actually does say like, how many minutes it'll take before your battery is fully charged. And usually it will take like under an hour. If my battery is on like 20%, it might take like an hour or just under an hour to get it fully charged. So I hope that answered all of your questions. If you have any more, then please leave them in the comments down below and I'll be happy to answer them there. Finally, someone actually did ask me if I could do like what's on my phone, a little phone tour. So I thought I would do that for you guys. Okay, so starting off, this is my home page. Here's the first page I open up to. I have the weather, I have Spotify down here. I can just easily click on that. Here I have a widget for my Google Calendar. I have my steps, my alarm. This is supposed to be like a photo, but it's not working right now. And then on this next page, I kind of have this part set up like I had my iPhone, which is just the apps in different kind of folders. And then I just have these apps here that I didn't want to put in a folder. I put Duolingo out here so that I actually remember to use it. Same with Audible. All of the like icon customization came with this wallpaper, which I currently don't know the name of, but I will find out for you and put it on screen because a lot of people ask me that question too. It's actually so easy to customize your phone. You literally just like tap on there. You can go to wallpaper and style, you can change your theme, and then the widgets part is where it's the easiest. You can literally add any widget you want. So I could add an Audible one. I could add just like anything. Let's add an Audible one. And you can literally move it anywhere, which I think is really cool. You don't really have that with the iPhone. As for my apps, I have this folder that is for like social media and messaging and whatnot. This one is work stuff, so I've got Canva, my accounting app, emails, whatnot. This is my finance folder. This one is like, I don't even really know what this one's classified as. It's kind of like money, which is like I spend money. Like this one is like money, like my banks and stuff, and then this one is like Depop, where like I can buy stuff on Depop. This one is all the Google apps that it kind of comes with, the settings. This one is games. I don't really have games on here. This one is, I don't know, based on the emoji, it's just miscellaneous, I guess. This is the Snapdrop app that I was talking about for airdropping. Got my photo album, internet, Duolingo, daily moments is like you take 1 second video every day, and then Audible, and that's everything on my phone. Love it. So let me know in the comments down below if you think you're going to make the jump, or if you have this phone, what do you think of it? If you have any more questions about this phone, I hope I've covered everything, but if you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments down below and I will be happy to answer them. Yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching this. If you've stuck till the end, you're a real one. I really hope you enjoyed this, because I'm looking at this now and I've been talking for 45 minutes about a phone, and that's insane. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.